Hello and welcome to a tutorial for Minecraft Noteblocks Ode to Joy by Ludwig van Beethoven. Okay, let's clear the weather. There we go, get rid of the rain. Why not? Oh look, the sun's coming up too. So, how do we do Ode to Joy by Beethoven in Minecraft? Okay, so first of all, let's take a little look at this. This thing here is essentially going to be a bit like your layout kind of thing. Not perfect, you know. I've probably made a mistake here in making that, but you know, we're going to go through the timings. You can ignore these first set of repeaters, but you're going to have 17 notes. Is it 17? I can't even remember now. 12 notes. I forget. My brain is fried. My brain is fried already. I haven't even started yet. So let's just have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 notes. All with a single repeater before it. Then you're going to have 2 repeaters set to the second from last delay. Followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a single delay. A single click. Followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with a double, a single repeater all the way set to full delay. Then 2 repeaters set to second from last setting, and then you've got another repeater with a single tick, a single click, and then another set of doubles with 4 delays on them. So let's look at this here. Excuse me. Let's look at this. These all have single repeaters in between them, because these are all standard notes. 1 repeater, 4 ticks. 1 repeater, 4 ticks. 1 repeater, 4 ticks. Makes sense? 1 repeater, 4 ticks. So we should have, what was it, 13? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Bum bum. So yeah, when you get to here, we notice there's this little dot, this little black dot here. And I can't smudge it out. It wasn't dripped from Beethoven's quill. Okay. He wasn't that clumsy. And his handwriting wasn't as neat as this either. Anyway, no, I'm just joking. So that's your dot, which means a dot is 2 repeaters, 6 ticks. So obviously 2 repeaters can be a maximum of 8. If 1 can be 4, 2 can be 8 maximum. But these are going to... So single repeaters with 4 ticks between every note. And when you get to this note here, the 13th note, you're going to put 2 repeaters on 6 ticks. And then we've got this here note, which is 1 repeater, 2 ticks. So that's what gives us our bum, bum, bum. Because that note's nice and quick. And this one here is the ending note. Bum. Because it's a circle here, we get 2 repeaters, 4 ticks. Make sense? So how does that look in game? One repeater, 4 ticks, until you get to there, the first little black dot. 2 repeaters, 6 ticks. And then you've got 5 notes. Which is the part. Okay, so the 5 notes are actually here. Bum, 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 bum. So normally you get to here, like it really, you know, this is the thing. Once you start getting into this, you're playing chords essentially, right? So let's just like I said, let's just go through this. So we've got bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Very simple, very straightforward. If you just set all these up with, as I say, pay attention to the dots. This is probably where you want to pause the video and see this, you know. This is the important part. That part there, not really important. This here, this is the important section here. Tells you what repeaters you need. Watch out for your little black dots here and here. Watch out for your circle notes here. And when you've got two little black dots here, that doesn't mean to add extra repeaters. It's just, you know, if you took the top note off without the black dot, you'd still have the bottom note with the black dot to still tell. It's just, you know, it's just essentially keeping everything in time. So all of the notes in the chord are going to follow the same time. So you just treat that as a single black dot. Don't add black dots together if they're on the same line, on the same note. And also, there's one more little tiny thing to point out here. This little section here has 3 notes in it, but there's only 2 written down. So what you want here is another number 5. So that should be 8, 5, 2. 8, 5, 2. Just so you know, 8, 5, and 2. That was the only thing I think I discovered on this that was, you know, just a typo. So once again, thank you to the Stacinator for setting this up for me so I could use. However, after I made it, I spoke to Stacinator and she listened and she said, "Why don't you try clicking every block twice?" So I did. I added 2. So you could add 2 to all these numbers, and obviously that's changing the key that it starts in. So it's probably going to be the best way to do it. So let's just go through this just very quickly. No, hang on a minute. No, this isn't the next section. This is the same section. Bum 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 bum. Same things again, but this time you're adding in the second note for your chord. So really, we could ignore these first top 2 lines if you wanted, and just focus on this bottom line here, 26. That section there, include the 5 on this note here, where it's a 3-note chord, but there's only 2 written down. Include the 5, and then you get the ba 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 bum 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 bum. So there you go. I think I probably just started on 26 here and just went through. So you're going to have, like I say, the only thing to pay attention to is your timing. Your timing is all explained right here. If there's a dot, 2 repeaters, 6 ticks. If there's a little squiggly line, 1 repeater, 2 ticks. If it's just a circle note, 2 repeaters, 4 ticks. If it's a normal note, 1 repeater, 4 ticks. So just keep that in mind. Look through this. And if you're like me and you didn't know, you had to ask the question, why is this note here on the right hand side instead of there? Nobody knows. It's because they would have been too close together to see properly, but that's how they display it. Instead of having three in a line like that, they would have overlapped, so this makes it clearer to read. So I understand that, I think. I understand that. Anyhow, music in notation form is way more complicated than it needs to be, although it's still kind of genius. It's a weird thing to, as someone who doesn't do this naturally, it's a strange thing, but I suppose, now that I'm learning it kind of makes me think, well, maybe this is the best way for now, but I kind of hope that there's going to be a better way in future for us to talk in terms of the music language. Anyway, let's go back to the game and look at this. Okay, so we've got my main section here. Bum 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 bum. We're looking at 2 and 3 note chords throughout this, yeah? Sometimes there's singles here. So the first six is we come across there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 9th and 10th note should be single note blocks and a single repeater on 4 ticks. So we'll just look at that. Oh look, we can find it straight away because we're only dealing with one side here, the emerald or the wall. Okay, so let's just look at this. The first lot I've got as chords, and then until we get to here, 6, 6. So let's look again. Yes, they start with two notes. 2 times 2 notes. Bum bum. And then we go to a bunch of triples, followed by 2 single notes, and then so on and so forth. So there we go. 2 2 3 3 3 3 3 3, and then single single. That's R6 and R6. And then if we just go through, we'll find in 3 note blocks time there will be 2 repeaters on 6 ticks. Then there'll be a single note, 1 repeater, 2 ticks, because it's got that squiggly line. And then there'll be another note after that, which will be 2 repeaters with 4 ticks. And then after those 4 ticks on those 2 repeaters, you're going to go straight into this next section here. Straight into this next section here with all of that. So that's what we've done. I've just gone straight from here. But what I did in order to feel the sound out, so all of these, that's black wall all the way through, okay? But I've got the same thing again in emerald next to it. So we're talking doubling this line up. Now that I'm here, I think we should just go . Now this section right underneath me that played here, which was the dun 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 dun. That wasn't see, this is where I've got the redstone here, so I can just stop it from playing for a moment. So we can isolate the sections out and you guys can have a listen. Let's not You know what? I might add the next section in. Yeah, what we'll do is we're gonna stop it here before it goes to the next part. So, because obviously I've taken bits and arranged it in a certain way. Okay. Okay, so that is essentially what you can hear, start to finish. But it's doubled, so you're going to hear it in there. However, like I say, there are differences. There are differences. So let's just quickly just chop this out here and play the emeralds only. Now check out for this section here. I've still got that disconnected. Okay, we'll change that. So they will play the whole section again up to there. Okay. I don't know if this is a good tutorial, much of a tutorial or any helper tutorial, but I hope it is. I hope it's helping. All single delay blocks, and then that's a rundown. So let's just examine this rundown bit here. That's these notes here, and they're all joined together. So they're all part of this rule here. 1 repeater, 2 ticks. That's why all this section here has that. And this section here, the original piece that I had, let's go back and listen to that one more time. Nothing. Play them together. Pay attention to this section here. Okay, so let's just look at this. Like I said, it's all. We need to look at this. This is the main thing. So what we've got is obviously all of these bits going through here. For the most part, I believe that's what it's like on both sides. But as you notice, the emeralds have the part, you know. So yeah, the key to all of this is paying attention to your timings. You get your timings right, it makes everything easy. Pay attention to your timings. Pay attention to your timings. All of these little, the dots and the circles, the dots and the circles, the dots and the circles, they are the key here. Dots, circles. Dots, circles. dots 2, 6, circles 2, 4. None of those 1, 4. Simple. Do that and you can't go wrong. So this is the resource you need. This sheet here. Like I said, put an extra 5 in between there. 8, 5, 2. It's a 3-note chord. Yeah, that will help. And then at the end of it, unfortunately, what you're going to do is you're going to want to add 2 to every number here. If I had time to do it, I would have done it already. I would have added 2 to all of these numbers and, so, you know, done that. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to click every block, every note block, an extra 2 times. Okay, just 2 more times. So it'll be 12, 12, 13, 14. Also, no, 10, 10, 12, 14, 14. 12, 11, 9, 7, 7, 9. No. Sorry. Just ignore that. Just click every note block 2 extra times. Because what I'll do, if I can find it, I will now show you the other resource for the second section. Because obviously this, like I said, just covers the bum 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 bum. So once you've done that, once you've got that section, that's it all. It's kind of short, right? You got to have that second section, the bum 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 bum. And I believe that one, I believe the note I've got for that is in a different key. So with this section here, if you click every note block 2 more times, repeat and stay the same, but just add 2 to all of these numbers. Make sure it's 8, 5, 2, so that would be 10, 7, 4, maybe. Either way, do that, and it will add up to this next piece that I'm about to show you. So let's go ahead and find that. Oh, here's that other thing I was talking about. So sometimes you might see this when it comes to notation, music notation. So this was a little snip that I had that just explained what those actual notes represent on the thing. So if you come across any of these, it's an extra resource for you. Now, is this it? Right, so okay, I think this is the one we need. So it should be bum 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 bum. Yeah, see? You see? This should be the extra section you need. And these are, yeah, I believe if we add 2 notes to the previous section that I showed you, it should match up with this. So what we've got here is piano. This is obviously the bass. And we've got that there. So yeah, this is I've actually not included the bass line on this one. I've just taken the 3 notes of the main melody here. As far as I'm aware, should we double check? Let's go and look in game and see what I did. Kind of looks like it. Once again, I've just got 3s and 3s. So yeah, it looks like I can add in a bass section. Interesting. So what would that look like? I wonder. I mean, do I wanna try taking this on right now? Not really, but I could and see how it comes out. They're all singles. 1 repeater, 2 ticks. I'm not seeing any dots. Bum 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 bum. So that's this little squiggle here, right? Which takes us back to quarter rest. So there we go. That's going to be the equivalent of like another, 2 on maximum delay, I'm sure. Quarter rest. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So interesting, in fact. We're going to do this. Go over here. Copy. We go here. We paste. And that will give us our notebook. Dun, 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 dun. So we've only got to pay attention to these, and they should match here and here. So I don't think we've got anything to worry about. We should just be able to put the note blocks in these numbers. 3380, let's start with that. 3380. Hang on a second. I may as well just fill these out. Just going to save a lot of bother by doing that first. Okay. Let's say 3380 33380. 3380 33380. 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 0 33380. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 0 33344 0 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 333 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 513 1 2 3 4 5 513 1 2 3. Okay, interesting. We've just added in what should be the bass section there. Well, it's not going to make too much difference because most of these notes are already represented above. 0 0 3 3 3 3 3 3 4 4 4 4 5 1 5. Okay. So what's the point? Well, for starters, the point could be to change the instrument for it and have something that makes you more of a bassy sort of sound, I suppose. Let's just... What does wooden planks sound like, I wonder? Hang on a second. I accidentally clicked that. I noticed. That was actually pretty good. I liked that. I liked that bass, that little bit of extra bass. Like I say, I'm just looking at this, and although you've already got the notes represented there, I put this extra one in for an extra bit of bass because I could. So here we go. We just copy this there and there. Copy. Actually, whoops. We want to be standing right in front of that when we do the copy. So then what we do is we go forward here. Yeah, so we get a gap and then we get it again here. So this is where it happens again. Nope, undo. There it is. Now if I'm right, that should now work twice. There we go. So that was kind of nice. I've just added something to it here and live on the camera, but as I say, that this here has the you know, the fortunate benefit of being very simple, just coming in for that section there with no like real changes to the repeaters other than a couple there and a couple there, where they're just notes where it goes. It's the you know, because they're faster notes, they're, you know, shorter notes. So yeah, I think from what I've shown you, I think you should be able to reproduce it. Honestly, obviously your instrument choice is important over here. You know, let's just play this through one time. I like the emerald and the black wall. The flutes do cut through quite strong there, so you know it's nice to change things up a little bit. Between all of the music sheets that I've shown you, I believe this can be done. I've explained the timings. If you have any questions on the timings or anything else, please let me know. But I think I've explained it well enough, so give it a try. I hope this helps. If you've got any feedback as to how I can make a better tutorial, then that's interesting, and I'd like to know. Thank you very much for watching. Have a blessed weekend.